Hey, good morning. We're down here at the Gully Shop today working on this 1964 M677 chassis. Today's the day we're going to pull the axles off and get the leaf springs off the chassis, and we're going to send this thing off to be blasted so that we can do some fab work on it. We're going to clean it up and then do the fab work and then have it powder coated. So it's a balmy 29 degrees in freedom units. That's negative 1.6 in European standard Celsius, whatever. Yeah, so it's a little chilly this morning, but no big deal. Got a couple shirts on and staying warm. So sun's gonna peek out here in a bit, and she should get up to about 45 degrees today. So I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, all we gotta do is zip the nuts off the axles in the front. Those little guys right there. In the rear, those slightly larger guys there. And then we're going to knock the leaf springs off, which is just a matter of taking these nuts off the ends and then sliding the leaf springs off. And we're going to keep the leaf springs. Might get those blasted too, just because they're just kind of nasty to work with. But as long as they're doing it, they might as well do all of it. But yeah, we'll send that down there, have them knock the trash off of them, and then we'll get it back. I've got a set of axles coming for this from a K30 military truck, like a I think it's a 1008 M1008 or 1026, something like that. But anyways, it's the CUCV military axles. So those trucks are rated at 1.25 tons. If it was a civilian version, it'd be a 1 ton axle. So it's gonna be Dana 60 in the front, 14 bolt in the rear. And we're gonna have to make up some steering linkage and a few different things to get that to work. But all in all, I think it should be not too big a deal. As far as I know, the only difference is that the axle is just slightly wider. If we've got to move some leaf spring mounts or something, we can do that. I was kind of thinking about changing the way that these leaf springs are mounted anyways, to do more of a supported, like a double shear mount, at least on the non-pivoting ends, maybe even on the pivoting ends. So we'll see. There's plenty of options to get that done, so no big deal. But all right, we'll get after this and then get her off to the blaster. So as you can see, we got the axles off. It was not a terrible struggle. I mean, a bit of a struggle. I just didn't want to haul out the air hose and stuff, so I just used the old snap-on, old as heck 18 volt impact. It did just fine, except these bolts, it started to take them and then they got seized up because I kind of figured I was going to have to get something out, either a torch or a cutoff wheel. You need to get those off. I mean, not a big deal. So no, we're not going to use any of that, so it's not too terrible. I might save those spring plates, but I think the axle that we have coming has a larger diameter tube, so it wouldn't do us any good anyways. So yeah, next thing I gotta do is get these leaf springs off. I got a couple of things sitting on the chassis here. This is gonna go to blasting, but this transmission cross member we can't do anything with. So the only way we could use it is if, in the rare occasion that it'll actually fit in this actual spot that it came off of, because the frame tapers so much that if it's any further back or any further forward, it's not going to fit at all anyway. So, I mean, maybe we could use those frame brackets and then build something off of them, which is maybe what we'll do. But I mean, I'm obviously going to keep that around, but it's not going to look like that when we're done. Yeah, so just got to keep on rolling here with getting these off. Yeah, obviously, I mean, being a military truck, they grease the shit out of it, but I'm gonna unscrew those first and then just take the bolts off and then slide the whole thing off together. Should come off pretty easy, I would think, once I get the right tools for it. So yeah, go ahead and do that next. Obviously, I wouldn't recommend using vice grips on something that you're going to keep. However, these, like, there's grease in them that's older than I am. So we're not going to keep these. They're just a normal 8th NPT grease fitting. So even if we end up using this hanger still, we could still put a grease fitting in it. I mean, it's no big deal. A lot of grease on that one. Had to chip it off though, because it's not wet grease. Beauty. Beauty. Frame off. That is heavy. Woo! It's all over but the crying, you know? So, yeah. This frame is officially disassembled and ready to go to the blaster. I'm just gonna put some of this stuff away. I'm gonna stow those leaf springs over there, and they're gonna go on the trailer with the frame to the blaster, just to clean them up, you know. Even if for some reason we don't use them, it's a pretty rare part, you know, for these trucks. So we could always sell them. But yeah. So I forgot to hit record on some of that, but you get the idea. And we're gonna keep on going here. Yeah, looking forward to seeing those axles sometime soon from a guy up in Massachusetts, I think is where it was. He parts out these Cut V trucks, and a lot of guys are using the Suburban axles, the 3/4 ton Suburban axles on these. But the 3/4 ton front Suburban axle is no different than what we already have. It's just 8 lug. So, you know, it's still a, you know, GM 10 bolt, and this one's actually a Dana 44 front. Well, and depending on who you're talking to, you know, that's the same. You know, it's like, it's different, but it's the same level. It's just a 1/2 ton front end with 8 lugs on it. So we wanted to do something a little beefier, something that, you know, really makes it stand out as something special. So, you know, as far as the leaf spring mounting locations, they're the same. The axle widths are a little different, but you know, it shouldn't be too hard to put them on here. And even if we have to space the leaf springs out a little bit or whatever we got to do, it might even just create a little more stability for us. So yeah, we'll see what it looks like when we get them here. We'll get this thing back into a roller and then start doing the engine transmission mock-up and some of the chassis fabrication, things like that. So yeah, it should be pretty cool. So but yeah, so we'll get those axles, the Dana 60 front and GM corporate, well, I don't know if it's, yeah, corporate 14 bolt, I guess you call it, but it's a full floater. It's not the semi floater. So full float, 14 bolt on the back, and then yeah, the Kingpin Dana 60 on the front, I guess. So they come with 456 gears from the factory. I think we're just going to leave that. They come with lockers from the factory. I think we're just going to leave that. I mean, so we shouldn't really have to do anything inside the axles, which makes it kind of questionable whether we should powder coat the axle housings. I want to do that, especially because this guy says they're in really good shape and they look like they were. So we won't have to do any like body work or anything to them. But even if we did, you know, it's one of those things. Powder coat's just kind of better, and it'll match the sheen of everything else. So we might take the axles completely apart and have them blasted and powder coated, but that's for much later down the road. So we'll see what happens and keep it going. Appreciate you guys watching, and catch you on the next one.